The Quebec Liberal Party is rejecting the leadership candidacy of former Montreal Mayor Denis Coderre. The party said in a statement Friday that its electoral committee ruled Coderre's candidacy is inadmissible, but he has the right to appeal within 5 days. Last week, Coderre had still not submitted all the necessary documents to the party. He reportedly owes about $400,000 in provincial and federal taxes, but he had assured reporters last month that his tax situation was settled while submitting his candidacy documents. A new Quebec Liberal leader will be chosen June 14th. Other candidates are former Federal Minister Pablo Rodriguez, former CEO of the Federation of Chambers of Commerce Charles Milliard, tax lawyer Marc Bélanger, and Beauce farmer Mario Roy. Joining me now is political analyst Karim Boulos. Thanks so much for being here.
My pleasure.
Is this something that you expected given his tax issues?
This came as a surprise, I think, to many people, including, I suspect, Mr. Coderre. He's had some tax issues. I believe he'd made it public that he had worked this out with the various authorities, both provincial and federal level. And surprising, I mean, it was very surprising for me because I've heard of an event just as recently as last week where he and other candidates were meeting with potential voters in some of the ridings to sell themselves as the leader. And so he's been on the campaign trail. He's been pounding the pavement, trying to meet new people. Mr. Coderre is a campaigner, if nothing else. And so I think it caught people off guard that this just was announced very cryptically as well. If you look at the press release or the information on X, it didn't really say why. It said that the committee refused or rejected his candidacy and that he had 5 days to appeal. And that's it.
Do you think that this puts an end to his political career since he's been at the federal and the municipal level?
People have said that he's been at the end of his political career now for about 10 years, and so he still manages to bounce back. I don't think it's ever the end for Denis Coderre. I think he's passionate about politics. I think he's passionate about wanting to help and represent the people. I don't know that he could ever be faulted for wanting to give back to the society. And yes, I mean, he's wanted to make a name for himself as the one who has changed or transformed or saved whatever he has been involved with, whether it was Montreal, whether it was a federal MP. So I don't know that we're ever really going to hear the end of Denis Coderre.
How does this change the dynamics of the leadership race with the other candidates?
Well, I mean, right now, the front runners, we can say, were Mr. Rodriguez, Mr. Coderre, and Mr. Milliard, really, were the ones that people were mainly talking about. I mean, there are others as well, and I don't want to minimize their qualities and capacity to lead, but this may have hurt Mr. Coderre enough that it becomes a two-person race between Mr. Rodriguez and Mr. Milliard. And so, there are two levels of approval. What will the party faithful want as their leader? Is it someone tried and true in the form of Mr. Rodriguez from years of political experience, or someone brand new in politics?
Thanks so much for joining us, Karim.
My pleasure.